Hey everyone, this is my hero series on YouTube, and I'm here presenting someone for you. And she is Ashton, a champion swimmer who could not and was not stopped by disabilities, impairment. She broke through and won gold medals. Welcome, Ashton, on the show.
Welcome to you. Glad to be with you today. Absolutely fantastic. I am Ashton, and I was a swimmer in the Special Olympics. This is correct. I was a swimmer, a past swimmer in that program, and I did compete in Dubai, and I also competed in Seattle for their national games. That's correct.
Wonderful. So tell us about your challenges, because I love to ask, how you could overcome those challenges that were in front of you.
I would say for me, just the challenges for me were my vision. I'm visually impaired. Being African American in the South, that's a challenge into itself altogether. And then, being a woman, having to overcome those things and overcoming a visual impairment or disability. And the Special Olympics is designed for peoples or folks with disabilities, and that's what they do. And and I was happy to show that folks with disabilities can do anything. And that's another reason that I joined that organization, because they accepted people like me. There weren't too many activities for people with disabilities. In fact, when I was a kid, there weren't any,
Mm.
so that I knew of.
And what is your background? What kind of struggles did you go through as a child? Because how would that affect your later life? Tell us about a bit of that.
I'll say this: when I did the Special Olympics, even with the disability, was a struggle as a child. I got picked on in school. I had to wear a patch over my eye when I played outside because I was blind in one eye, and that was the way they felt to keep dust out of my eye. But kids, how kids are, they're mean, right? And uh, I will say that when I was in school, my family did the best they could to keep me safe, and they did that. I mean, in school, and did what they could to make sure that I was okay and stuff like that. And so I think that being a child that has a disability is a struggle, because people don't want to accept you. Even, they don't want to play with you. They don't want to allow you to do much. And you have to work 10 times harder to prove yourself. And I guess that's why all of my life I was always taught to work hard, because if you don't work hard, no one accepts you in this life, because they think that you are lazy. And so that's where I get that work ethic from, of working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, because no one will accept you. It seems like sometimes if you don't work hard, and
Yeah,
people want to see you work hard.
yeah, I love to hear that, because see, one of my specialty is releasing that belief or that limitation from people's minds. Because I don't think people have to keep carrying that heavy baggage from the past into their future. And was there a time in your life when you felt absolutely lacking self-worth, or you didn't have a voice?
When I was homeless, when I was homeless, especially also when I cried out in the Special Olympics about abuse, physical abuse I dealt with in their program, such as people hitting me, things like that. And you feel beat down when you cry out to a program about being abused by another athlete, or things like that, or people are able to throw racial epithets at you because you're a Black person. And I dealt with that in their program. And when you're a person of color, you feel like your life is devalued. That's a fact. That's a human emotion, right? I'm a person of color, and at the hands of white people, right, or other people who didn't look like me, I deal with abuse in that program. And that program, I learned from that to keep going. And when you cry out for change. You don't cry out to bash a program. I cried out for change. And I am no longer with the Special Olympics for various reasons, but I know that I'm a good person, and I know I should never have to put up with harm against my person or any of that type of stuff. And I dealt with that in that program, and that's the only program that has made me feel worthless as a person. You know,
Mm,
I had an athlete in that program. She told me I should jump off a building and take my life. Those type of comments, the
mm,
Special Olympics celebrated and did nothing about. Magazines wrote about the ongoing racism to this day in the Special Olympics Texas. They wrote about it. Business Magazine and other magazines wrote about it. And
yeah,
that is something that should be not tolerated in our society, but was tolerated in Special Olympics. And I say that because they didn't do anything about it when it was mentioned to them. That's why I say it was tolerated and celebrated.
yeah. It must have been very tough on you. And tell me, was there a turning point in your life, something that really stood out for you when you started to find yourself and just,
The pandemic, I'm not gonna lie, when the pandemic happened, because everybody was before that, everybody was doing stuff, working, gone, not at home. And the pandemic made me start thinking about, okay, the wheels started turning. If they can start a business, I saw a show on television and
mm,
it talked about entrepreneurs, right? And I'm like, let's look up the word entrepreneur. And I was like, well, I'm in America. Why can't that be me? I'm in the greatest, richest nation in the world. Uh, I don't know if we're rich anymore. I don't know about that. With the ballooning debt, I don't know. But I'm in the greatest nation in the world. And why couldn't it be me? But when you're in organizations like the Special Olympics, they don't teach you about home ownership, businesses, corporations, marriage. You're taught none of this. You're taught to go out there and play sports and win. If you cannot win, be brave in the attempt. That's their saying. Win. If you cannot win, be brave in the attempt.
yeah,
You get tired of being brave when you're broke. That is something that program left me. They left me bankrupt and broke because you're not allowed to get paid or make money. And I'm in America, and entrepreneurship is something that I took a real look into during the pandemic. And
I
you
love that.
start to find yourself and you start to say, hey man, what can I do? What did God give me? And people can make a list of the things you can do. If I can take pictures, if I can draw pictures, if I can do this, you start to write down what you can do, and then you write down the things you absolutely cannot do. And those things that you absolutely cannot do, you find ways to get them passed on to people that can do them and
I
do them
love it.
well. And if they can do them well and do them well enough, you get paid. And so that's the stuff that I'm taught through churches, through business personnel. Churches like Mercy Culture, they have a whole business department called Axel Creative. That's the name of the department. It's called Axel Creative, and they put a lot of money, resources, time into all this to help entrepreneurs. And you start plugging into places during the pandemic. That church had their doors open. Once they could get people to check temperature, enough folks hired or volunteers, they opened back up the doors at Mercy Culture, and they started, having classes and counseling, because during the pandemic, people, baby, they needed it. We were in
Mm,
a pandemic, and people, they said it. It was a survey done, and they said counseling is the number one thing that people were asking for, including psychology was second, and psychiatry was
yeah,
right behind that, because
amazing.
you need that type of stuff, but you also want people. And then they said, fourthly, was mental well-being. So people who deal with the mind or mental well-being, those things were top of mind during the pandemic. And those opportunities gave me a way to find myself through the church, find myself through other means, and started networking with other people. And lo and behold, things are finna start moving in my life. A lady with a company called Ladies First Sports Agency, she wants me on her sports network. I'm ready to rock and roll, because it's all about putting myself in what they call networking position. That's what a church, the term that they use. If you learn to network and you start to connect with people, like I found you, right? Through
Yeah,
networking. Networking is for real. And you start to put these people in your contacts, and you start to uh realize what they can offer and what you can offer, and you start to work together, and that starts to make the change in your life that you need. And I find hope in my life now that my church is doing everything they can. I have hope now, and our doors are open, and Mercy Culture is ready for business. Broadway Church also provides hope for homeless people. We feed on Thursdays. That's why I have hope through that church. I've been going to Broadway Church since 2004, and they help. A lot of these churches will help you with paperwork, your driver's license, ID, an apartment, a place to stay, and even food. They don't give direct money, but they provide hope by getting you out of a dire situation. You have people in the cold 2 days sleeping on the streets, and they're paying for hotel rooms for people. So that's why you get hope by going through churches and other means. Yes.
Ashton, amazing. And especially it hit my ear when you said counseling is number one need now. And I'm one of them who has actually taken off. My business, Dr. Sappers, has taken off through COVID because there were there's so many people stuck in anxiety, fears, angry, that I could get fast transformations with people. And I was able to access that subconscious mind that a lot of people are kind of never make peace with. And then they have these two minds where one mind is they consciously kind of know what they want, but the other side of their mind has all these blocks and breaks and baggage, and they end up always recurring the same old patterns that are not allowing them to really get what they want. And this is so exciting for me. And
counseling is a big deal. I take counseling myself, and I take board certified counseling. I believe in it, and I believe in exercise. Like when the pandemic happened, I'm serious. Everybody can take a walk. Does that cost you money? No.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything, and exercise helps the mind. Like in my state, we're open for business. The state of Texas, that's what helps me to know that I'm mentally strong, because pandemic or not, our governor said he's gonna put the foot on the gas and keep the state of Texas open, because that's gonna bring billions of dollars to our state, and we want money, because nothing else speaks in this world but money. Money and money, right? Because that is what runs society. And if people think I'm lying, look at our state. Our state's one of the richest in the country, and people come to Texas for a reason. They come here because it's affordable to stay here, and they come here because Texas also believes in the right for freedom of religion and expression of it. And that's why they come here in droves to the state.
Okay.
Because we believe in a free marketplace. Go ahead.
What kind of business are you in the process of establishing now, launching? Tell us that.
I'm hoping to expand my book, Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. That book can be sold at Walmart online. You folks can get that. Amazon also, Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. That's a book. I also hope to do public speaking and get that going. But with the pandemic, that's kind of been tough, but we're going to try to push through it and learn how to do public speaking on the internet. People get paid for that, so we're looking up that as we speak. I also have a podcast right now called Keep Swimming with Ashton. So that was something that was launched because when you have a podcast, then sponsors can start to sponsor you. If you don't have a product, they're not going to sponsor you in the United States. You have to have a product that a sponsor can latch on to and say, we're going to sponsor XYZ podcast.
Wonderful. So
that's what I'm learning, and how to expand my businesses, and then how to get that LLC. Having an LLC on paper allows you to reap the tax benefits that the federal government has to offer. They also give away free money through grants. Seriously, if you have an LLC or business, it's what a church told me, that if you have a non-for-profit and things like that, there's even more money available. And I think churches would know that, because what's a church? They're a non-for-profit, so they would know about that type of stuff. Amen.
Sure.
So that's right.
And who do you need to connect to take your venture to the next level? I really want to create some awareness, people who will listen to this video, or maybe
Okay.
they have the right contacts for you to
Right.
make that dream come true. Because again, you have a
They may.
obstacle in front of you, like as if you started your swimming career, right?
Right.
So who do you need?
That's right. What do I need? What I need is someone who deals with social media management, or someone who deals with monetization, someone who can teach and sit down and open up my page, my Facebook page, not someone else's, my page, where my page can make money, or where my social media can make money. That is the biggest thing I'm missing because of the pandemic. Everything's fixing to move online. Everything's going to be moving on the internet. And if you don't move with that, you're going to be left out.
Yeah.
You have to move with what the internet is telling me to do. And the internet is saying all of this has to go online. And I have to now make that shift. And if I don't, I'm going to be left behind. That's what it's calling to do. And so also someone who deals with public speaking management, right? I have a contract with a sports management company. That's sports. I want someone who's a speaker planner, those type of things, right? We have to know what we're looking for and wanting. And that's what I want. Someone who can get me speaking opportunities where I can get paid. Event planners, those who have events, right? Where I can come out and come speak. So if you have an event at such and such center, I can come out and speak at the center, right? Folks who work with children and adolescents that want me to come speak, I can do that in school districts. So what I need is someone who believes in me, those who manage speakers, and those who have radio stations that allow me to come on the air because I'm articulate, television stations, those type of things that allow me to get my message out and get exposure. Because the biggest thing that I'm lacking in America, and if you know, it's hard to make money if you have no exposure. If people don't know who you are, in America, you're not going to make money. That is a fact. People have to know who you are, and they have to know what you're selling. Once they know, and they know what you're selling is right, you get paid in this country. That's how America and the free market operates. You know, this is an open, wide open market out here.
Wonderful. Yes, it's a great insight. And to address that right now, tell us where we can find you. Is there a website? Is there a social media account? Where's your book sold? All of the things. Maybe
let's do that.
And then I'll share it under the video. But let's just get that out now.
Let's let them know. Okay, so the general public, my book is sold at Walmart. It's called Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. That's the book. The book is also sold online at Amazon and Walmart. My podcast, folks can go there. Keep Swimming with Ashton. You can see that. You can also see the link, Shop with Ashton. You can see that link. I can even drop that here to you so you can have it and share that with the general public. I think it's very, very important. People can also follow me on social media such as Google and other social media. I will say Google because that's where a lot of my pictures are and things like that I like to do. But I want folks to follow me on Facebook. Golden Ashton is my page on Facebook. You will find that Golden Ashton _ on Instagram. You will also find me on Twitter under Golden Ashton on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. You folks will be able to find me there where those are listed. Thank y'all so much.
Ashton, thank you very much. It was awesome to connect with you. And we'll see you again very soon and see you succeed in this public speaking industry. Thank you very much.
You too. God bless y'all too, man. God bless you.
Okay, bye.